during your debut in Loveland, about how the emotions kind of made it a little difficult to focus on the day. Did you find anything like that today?
No, it was better today. Yeah, I don't know if it's just playoff hockey or obviously I think those two games up in Loveland were really important for me and they were great, prep wise and then getting to watch the first two games of this series down in Dallas. And like I said, it's playoffs, so it's not a whole lot of time to think about what's going on, how it's feeling, how long you've been gone for. It's just kind of like get into it and get playing. So yeah, honestly, felt pretty good.
Jesse, then Pat.
Gabe, I know it's hard given not only the result, but the way that everything just ended 5 minutes ago, but what was it like to get that reception from the crowd and be able to skate out to that reception from the fans during warm-ups?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I don't know. I'm just blessed and very fortunate to be in a position to feel those feelings and to feel, I don't know really what exactly was going through my body and mind at that time, but it was pretty special, and I mean, that's a memory for life. Simple as that. Yeah, Avs faithful, they make it special. It's a special place to play. It's a special place to live and raise a family, and obviously the last 3 years have been difficult at times, and yeah, to come back and feel that love, I mean, incredible. So yeah, it means a lot.
Pat.
Hey, Gabe, to kind of piggyback off this, and I'm sorry, I know it's an emotional game, and I don't mean to ask this question on this, but I don't think your son has ever seen you play. He held up that sign, your daughter held up the sign. How much does it mean to have them see you do what you do?
Yeah, I mean, that was as close I got to losing it during warm-up, was when I looked over at them and seeing their big smiling faces. So it was very special. I think they've probably been thinking that I've been lying this whole time, that I do play hockey. I really do. But yeah, they were 1-2 when I last played, and now they're 5-4, and they're growing up, and we got another one on the way coming this summer, and yeah, it just puts it in perspective how much time has passed, I guess, right? Like, so it's very special. Obviously, hockey was and is my first love, and my kids are supporting me and cheering me on, and I think it's cool, and I think my son, has a little bit of that in him as well. He seems to be liking the sport, so yeah, pretty sweet moment there.
Rod.
Gabe, we saw the emotions from your documentary series for the opener here when you weren't able to play. To be out there for the first time, how were you able to hold those emotions together, and how much did it help that Nico got in your way so you could knock him down?
Yeah, I think just a long lead up to it. I've probably played this game 100 times in my mind already, and envisioned what it was going to feel like, and obviously that wasn't even close to what it actually felt like, but at least I've envisioned it, and allowed myself to go there at times, and but then I've all day today and all week really I've had to just keep my emotions in check and really just try to stay calm and in control, and when you get all riled up and you get all emotional and you get all, it's easy to get tired extra fast. It's easy to make stupid decisions out there and make the wrong reads. So I was trying to make sure I was as in tune to the game plan as I could be, and same thing with my emotions and everything that was going on, but at the same time allowing myself to enjoy everything, because it's a very special night, and from my perspective, regardless of the outcome of the game, I mean, that was a memory of a lifetime for me. So it was very special.
Colleen and Pierre.
Gabe, I know it's tough to gauge just in this first game, but how did the chemistry feel with the team, and did you feel connected with everybody as just being the first game back?
Yeah, I think so. I thought our line created some decent looks. I don't think we were, as a team, as dangerous offensively as we would like to be. So there's definitely adjustments that we're going to have to make there. I think as a line, I mean, Chucky and Kivy are great hockey players, and they play the right way, and they play hard, and kind of check for our chances, and we had some decent looks, but I think as a whole, there's some adjustments for sure for us to make, and that's what this game's all about, especially in a 7-game series. It's about adjustments, and we got some to make, no doubt about it, but I think the chemistry and the connection of the locker room felt really good.
Pierre, then Nick.
Dave, I think you led the team in hits. Your usual physical assault, it seems, taking hits as well. Where do you feel you were percentage-wise, if you could put a number out there as to what you want your game to be here over the course of time?
Well, I'd like to play better. I don't know. Percentage-wise, it's hard, but I felt pretty good. Speed-wise, legs, physically, I felt good. It's still my 3rd game, so I got a lot of things to improve on, and just timing and seeing things, seeing the right plays, executing them. So that's one of the positives, is there's a lot of areas of improvement. So looking forward to it, and I think every game is going to continue to get better, and same thing goes for our team.
Evan, then Sean.
I'm sure that's not how you imagine this first game ending, but now you get to be in the room, you get to go over film. What is kind of your message after a game like that to your team as the leader?
Well, that is, I guess, kind of the starting point, is to watch it, and our coaching staff does a great job. Whether you win or lose, you go through the scoring chances for, scoring chance against. You look at everything. You look at all the areas we can improve on. Power play being one of them. We got to clean that up execution-wise, and just overall kind of structure, I think, and the way we get set up in zone, and a lot of areas. So I think the message would be to, look at the film, get better, and improve, and then we got another crack at it on Saturday night. So obviously it's not the outcome we wanted, but that's the way it goes, and that's playoff hockey. You got a short memory, and let it go and move on.
Sean, we'll finish with Arif and Megan.
You're kind of jumping onto a moving train, which is hard enough with 2 good teams as it is. To piggyback off Evan's point, I mean, where is this locker room at emotionally when you have back-to-back games like that in an emotional series? On an emotional, there's about 18 levels of emotion with this, and with that PP1, what have you seen that it hasn't really been flying?
It's tough losing, whether you're losing overtime or not. I'm not too fond of just sitting there and saying it could have gone the other way. We had some good looks. There's obviously that we all know that's the case. It really could have gone either way, but it didn't. So we just gotta bounce back. That's the way it is. You gotta have a short memory, like I said, and a resilient group in there. This is the way it's been all year. It's the way it's going to continue to be. You're not always going to have leads in the playoffs. You're not always going to be up in series. So you have to find ways to really have a short memory and move on. That's as simple as that. It's a boring answer, but I think that's the reality of it. As far as the power play goes, I think a lot of it comes down to execution. A little bit slow, a little bit having some issues execution wise, and we'll clean that up. That's we got a lot of good players on the ice, and I have all the faith in the world that we'll clean it up come Saturday.
The 2-parter for starters. I don't know for sure, but I don't know if any coach would play you in the opening draw like that, given the fact that number one, those weren't your line mates, and playoffs game 3, it's not a regular season game in December. I guess how appreciative were you to be able to have that moment with McKinnon, with Tiggs, and with McCarr? And then the second part is, did Mikko say anything to you there when you guys lined up for the opening draw? Yeah,
he said something along the lines of "welcome back," something like that. Mikko's regardless of what jersey he wears, I love him. He's a good friend of mine, and but in this series, obviously we're not friends when we're playing. Obviously, very special to be out there for that. I think that just goes to show what kind of people we have in this organization, top to bottom. And I think I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for the support of everybody in this organization, whether that's a Kroenke family or Joe and C-Mac everybody in the front office to trainers to coaches and especially players, you know, and fan base. So it's a very special place to play, and like I said, to feel that support from day one throughout this whole journey, and as long and as slow as it's been and as rocky as it's been, very special to feel that unwavering support the whole way, and I don't think it's like that necessarily everywhere. So yeah, very, very fortunate.
Last one, Megan.
You talked about stepping back into the role as a player on the ice tonight, but I wanted to know about stepping back into the role as the captain throughout the course of the night and leading the team again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a place where I'm comfortable, you know, on the bench, in the room, on the ice. So I think that's very familiar to me. And obviously I think it starts off with playing the right way and playing hard and playing well, and that way, you know, guys can feed off your energy and feed off the way you play. But I think there's plenty of leadership in that locker room. You know, I think we've got work to do as a team, and that's what we'll do. But nonetheless, it felt great in all areas tonight in terms of just being back. And then on the ice play-wise, there's areas to improve, but very special night regardless of the outcome, and looking forward to Saturday already.